Okay, so let's talk about the latest episode of Chucky Season 2. This is the first episode, and we're back after a year, and we are definitely back in a big way. So, we're going to be covering this all throughout the season, every single episode. So, make sure you tuned in here by subscribing, hitting that notification bell. But let's get right into this first episode, which was Explosive. So, this was a return to what happened. We got a little recap of everything, and as we know, in the final episode of Season 1, we pretty much saw Chucky go on a killing spree, and all of this was eventually blamed on Junior, who was the one that Chucky was trying to take his soul after he made Junior pretty much kill his own father. But eventually we do see Junior ends up dying as he saves his friends as well and his cousin. And then we also had Andy going about with the truck full of Chucky dolls and taking it away to make sure that they weren't distributed anywhere. Of course, at the end of the season, we saw that Tiffany was in there with a gun and she just had it at Andy. And this is where we pretty much pick up on the first episode with Andy now driving this truck full of Chuckies. And we see that Andy is trying to sort of find a maneuver out of all of this. Tiffany, of course, has the gun to his head, but he's not about to let all of these dolls loose. So she's just making him drive. And we eventually see some of them come out. And we even see a Chucky that is bald, which we've seen in the trailer. And through some fun banter that they have together. And I was just there wondering, imagine a show just with Chucky dolls just interacting like this. That's something I would probably see myself. But we pretty much see them there talking with one another, but they kind of recognize Andy, but they don't know who this is actually. Andy starts to notice this, and he realizes that they don't really know who Tiffany is either, and so this is his chance now to pretty much get the doll and do whatever he needs to do. He eventually is able to get her gun and shoots her and kills her, and then the other Chuckies remember who he is. They try to go on and attack him as they all get out of their box, but just in time, Andy's able to drive off a cliff, and it seems that he has killed all the Chuckies, but even himself. So the big question is Andy alive, and is Kyle alive? As we know, it seems she had been killed as well in the last season, but with Chucky, you never know. There's a lot of surprises. We then pick up in the show where we see our three friends, of course, and what they're up to right now. So we see that Devin and Jake have each gone to a different foster family. The thing is that Jake has gone on to another area. He's now in Salem, so he's a bit away from Hackensack, and so there's a lot of tension there because him and Devin can't really be together because of everything. But Jake is happy that he has a little brother now that he's able to sort of be there for. And so we then cut to 6 months later where we see that Devin and Jake were supposed to meet up for Halloween, but it turns out that Jake has to take his brother trick-or-treating. So he's not really able to take his date with Devin right now, and this sort of upsets Devin because they haven't seen each other in a while, and understandable after everything that they've gone through as well, and not being able to get together and just have some time, a dinner even that Devin was making could definitely be a little bit of a hard thing for them to accept. However, this night is different when they both start getting this phone call from a weird number telling them that they know who they are and what they're doing and that it's a friend basically. And they realize that this is Chucky, and then they get a video call of Chucky actually pretending to be like a ghost trick-or-treater going into Caroline and Lexi's house, and we see Lexi's there, not a clue in the world about what's going on. She's not picking up the phone, so Jake decides to just call the police with Devin in order for the police to get to the house so nothing can happen to Lexi or Caroline. When the police do show up, Lexi is kind of confused, but then she sees Devin and Jake's text about Chucky being back, and her and Caroline realize it's all starting again. So with Lexi, we realize that her mom is sort of not really paying attention to them that much. She's focused on her campaign. She's not really going to care about Chucky because it seems that everything that happened, all the murders and everything that Chucky committed in season 1 has been blamed on Junior, of course, who is now dead. His parents are dead, so there's really nobody who can go out there and fight for his name or anything. It just seemed like the easy way to just shift all the blame to him instead of trying to realize that there's a killer doll that's cursing other dolls out there doing all of this. So they just went with the easiest thing for them, which was that Junior did all of this somehow. We'll definitely get more into that probably in the season, so that should be interesting how they explain that a little bit more. But we do have that, but now we do see that Devin and But now we see that Devin, Jake, and Lexi are trying to get to the bottom of what is going on with this new Chucky, wherever he is. On one side of things, you also have the Tiffany doll returning from Bride of Chucky that has now been given to Caroline by her therapist. I don't trust this therapist, and especially towards the end, and we'll talk about that in a bit. I think the therapist is on this whole like thing with Chucky in some shape, way, or form. Maybe she's being threatened or whatever the case may be, but there is no way that she had just had that doll, that specific doll. And then there's another instance which we'll talk in a bit. So during all of this planning and everything to try and figure out what's going on with Chucky, they are eventually lured into the house, back to Lexi's house, both Devin and Jake, when the little brother that Jake has arrives there with a bomb, a fertilizer bomb, and he's pretty much there with Chucky as well, and Chucky's pretty much saying like, I'm gonna take all of you out. They're waiting with Chucky at the living room and everything. They have Caroline, you have the little brother, you have Jake, you have Devin, and then they're just waiting for Lexi to come down. Of course, she's taking her time because Lexi's now doing like drugs and all of this, so it's like a lot of things going on with her right now. And you have her mother as well, who is just trying to run her campaign again, not really caring about her family or anything like that. And so it's a lot of pressure that's just being built up in this first episode, where we see the state of the like kids' mental health and everything going on, which I thought was interesting to really start exploring here. So when Lexi finally makes it down, we see that Chucky is about to press that bomb, and then that's when Devin gets up and tases him, gets the bomb away, and is able to save the day, it seems, until Jake's little brother grabs the bomb and he runs into the kitchen where he sees the Tiffany doll. And as he gets distracted by this, Chucky pops up from behind, pops the bomb, and then they die right there. So then the kids are blamed for all of this because, of course, they're not going to believe that it was a killer doll who brought this bomb and pressed it in the first place. They're just going to pretty much say that these three kids, Devin, Jake, and Lexi, made this bomb and it got into their hands of the young kid, and that's what eventually caused him to die. And they're about to get punished and all of this, could go to juvie, all of that. And that's when the therapist comes in. She's like, how about they go to this Catholic school? Like, I think that they could do really good stuff there and it could change them for the better. And as they're being sent away to this school, they realize that, hey, this is familiar because this is where Charles Lee Ray grew up. So that's why I think the therapist is in on a lot of this, and she might just be working with Chucky, whether that's through a like threat that she has against her, like Chucky against her, or maybe there's something else going on, like a relative or something. You know, with this series, anything can go, and I like that they can change whatever they want as we go. So I'm excited to see what that is. And so they arrive here, and it's pretty much going to be crazy now because we know that Chucky's going to be here, and there's going to be a ton of stuff that's going to be explored. I'm waiting new discoveries to be made, and this is just off to a great start. I really didn't expect the series to start off so strong already, and I was really intrigued by how much they put into this. I love the references to Bride of Chucky as well, because there is a Bride of Chucky in the Chucky series as well, which is interesting when you think about it, because that's an actual movie we have, but it's a movie in itself. So, you know, this goes so meta, so we'll definitely be talking more about it, more theories, more thoughts about what Chucky's true plan is. As we know, there are more of them that probably did survive that crash. Did Andy survive the crash? That's a big question. This Chucky claims he didn't, but I'm pretty sure a lot of things can happen, and there could be a lot of more things to come. So I'm excited to see it and see where we go in the next episode. I probably feel like we're going to get some Jennifer Tilly and Nika in the next episode, so it'll be interesting as well to see Tiffany in there. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. But as always, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell. What do you think? Is the therapist in on this at all? What do you think Chucky's real plan is? Let me know in the comments down below. But overall, great episode. Really loved it. I did enjoy so much about this episode. You could tell the production value is higher now, and there's a ton more to love. It had me laughing and everything, especially with Jake's brother saying the Batman things, and then we had Chucky being like, all right, kid, it's getting old. I was just like, it's like, I love this show. So anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Check out all the reviews I put up today. I put a review on Hellraiser, Piggy, as well as Living with Chucky. Go check them out right now. And I will have some more reviews for you this week. We caught a lot of movies at Fantastic Fest, and then some at home as well. So we got a lot of catching up to do. We still have some more Halloween Horror Nights videos to put up, so stay tuned for those. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get there together, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.